such an important family to me, and this has been such a hard, wonderful journey, and I'm so thankful to have been on it with you all.
The saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie, and I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, but the reality is she's just not stable.
Rachel Zegler. And I've got no real issue with that, although, of course, Snow White was called Snow White because her skin was as white as the snow.
Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the movie she's in, but also seemingly hates Snow White, the character, herself.
We've got a scandal so juicy, even Cinderella's fairy godmother would be clutching her pearls. Picture this. Rachel Zegler, the Disney darling, the golden girl of Hollywood, the queen of singing dramatically in the rain, is besties with none other than Sabrina Brier, the TikTok sensation who can make an awkward brunch with your high-maintenance friend feel like an Oscar-worthy drama. And together, they just might have done the unthinkable, spilled the tea on Disney's most protected secrets. Oh yes, this is the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that even the Seven Dwarfs would wake up for. And the cherry on top? The ultimate dose of GADOT favoritism that'll make you question if Snow White was really the fairest of them all, or just the most overlooked. But before we get into all that, let's just take a moment to appreciate how wild this friendship really is. I mean, we're talking about a full circle, rags to riches, did that really just happen kind of story. Sabrina used to be a Hollywood assistant, aka the human equivalent of a Post-it note, running around fetching lukewarm oat milk lattes and probably getting yelled at for bringing the wrong kind of agave syrup. And now, she's out here rubbing elbows with A-listers, sneaking into exclusive Hollywood parties, and casually pulling back the curtain on the industry's messiest secrets like it's just another Tuesday.
I get stopped for photos every time I'm online for the Snow White ride, and I have to pretend like, oh God.
Then there's Rachel, who basically got the golden ticket of Hollywood, personally handpicked by Spielberg himself, the man who made dinosaurs and aliens household names. But instead of basking in the glow of her big break, she somehow landed smack in the middle of one of Disney's biggest PR nightmares, where even Cinderella's fairy godmother couldn't wave a wand and fix the chaos. If you're thinking, wait, this sounds like some scripted reality TV drama, oh, if only. This is real-life Hollywood, and as it turns out, it's messier than any soap opera on daytime TV. And now, hold on to your popcorn because this is where things get really interesting. So Sabrina and Rachel recorded an audiobook together, That Friend, which, fun fact, is all about surviving fame, navigating friendships, and dealing with the absolute roller coaster that is making it in New York City. You know, the usual coming of age and the spotlight kind of stuff. But what they didn't expect was that real-life Hollywood would hand them a plot twist so scandalous, it could have its own dramatic slow-motion montage. Enter Disney's live-action Snow White, the film that was supposed to be Rachel's crowning moment, her fairy tale breakthrough, the kind of project that turns rising stars into full-fledged icons. Instead, it became the kind of behind-the-scenes disaster that even Disney's PR team probably had to drink 3 iced coffees before dealing with. So what exactly went down? Oh, just your standard Hollywood favoritism scandal, with a little extra shade for good measure. Rumors started swirling faster than a Wicked Witch of the West tornado. Whispers about how some stars were getting red carpet treatment while others were left in the dust. And if you're wondering who exactly wasn't on the receiving end of that VIP treatment, spoiler alert, it was not our girl Rachel.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
Fans started noticing it, insiders started leaking it, and before you could say, mirror, mirror on the wall, the whole thing had escalated into a full-blown industry mess. Now, whether it was a case of subtle sidelining or an all-out strategic snub, the fact remained, Rachel wasn't exactly getting the Disney princess treatment. And as for Sabrina, well, let's just say she wasn't about to let her bestie take this hit without speaking up. But before we dig deeper into that favoritism fiasco, quick PSA. If you're enjoying this tea, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button like you're swiping right on the best gossip of your life. Or don't, but then you'll miss out on future drama, and honestly, that's just self-sabotage. Now, back to the good stuff. So while Rachel was out here doing press tours, smiling through gritted teeth and answering the same 5 questions about how does it feel to play such an iconic character, spoiler, probably exhausting, especially when the answer is, I don't know, ask Disney's PR team. Guess who is getting the royal treatment? That's right, Gal Gadot. Now don't get me wrong, we all love Gal. She's Wonder Woman, she's stunning, she could probably stop traffic with a single smirk. But let's be real for a second. This was Snow White's movie. The whole thing was literally built around Rachel. And yet somehow it was Gal who ended up looking like the true queen of this entire production.
It was the worst decision they could possibly make.
Insiders, oh, trust me, they love to talk, say Gal was getting everything short of a golden throne on set. The best trailers? Check. The best stylists? Check. The best lighting that made her glow like she just walked straight out of an enchanted fairy tale? Triple check. Meanwhile, Rachel? Let's just say she was probably somewhere in the background, sipping on a lukewarm bottle of Evian, wondering if her next interview question would be about how magical it felt to wear a dress for 6 months straight. If you ever needed proof that Hollywood has a serious case of selective spotlight syndrome, this was it.
Rachel Zegler made it so hateable that you really sabotaged and took hundreds of millions of dollars from the studio. I don't know how anyone would ever want to go into business with her ever.
And it wasn't just a tiny imbalance either. It was painfully obvious. When press junkets started rolling in, Gal was getting all the fun, juicy, tell us about playing the iconic evil queen questions, while Rachel was stuck in an endless loop of, so how does it feel to bring diversity to this classic role? As if she was there to give a TED Talk instead of promoting a fairy tale movie. And let's not even get started on the red carpet. While Gal was stepping out in designer gowns that screamed villainous elegance, Rachel's looks felt like an afterthought. The whispers about Disney's not-so-subtle favoritism started getting louder, and before long, it wasn't just fans side-eyeing the situation, Hollywood itself was taking notes. And the best part? Our girl Sabrina Brier might have just given us a sneak peek into all the behind-the-scenes drama with some well-placed, not-so-innocent social media posts. Now, she didn't explicitly say Disney treated Rachel like an afterthought while rolling out the red carpet for Gal, but if you read between the lines, oh, it's all there. A little side-eye here, a cryptic caption there, and suddenly the internet is playing detective like it's an episode of CSI Hollywood. Fans were quick to dissect every emoji, every punctuation choice, and even the exact timing of her posts, because we all know nothing on social media is accidental. One post suspiciously went up right after a glowing press feature on Gal Gadot, while another came just as Rachel was left out of a major promo event. Coincidence? Please. The sleuths of the internet are convinced that Sabrina is sending out coded messages, and honestly, it's hard to argue with them.
Disney and all these media companies, they invest hundreds of millions of dollars into these before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic. Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of vulnerability study, opposition research?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done.
Of course, Disney is staying tight-lipped, acting like everything is sunshine and rainbows, but let's be real. When has Hollywood ever been that simple? Something is definitely brewing behind the scenes, and if Sabrina's subtle shade is anything to go by, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. And speaking of which, if you love cracking the case on celebrity drama, you might as well stick around and subscribe. Think of it as joining the internet's messiest detective agency, but with way more fun and significantly fewer rules. But wait, it gets better. Because if favoritism wasn't enough, there are also rumblings about some very interesting behind-the-scenes footage that may or may not have been, shall we say, inconvenient for Disney's carefully crafted PR image. And guess who's supposedly sitting on this footage? Yep, our girl Sabrina. Now, we're not saying she's the puppet master pulling the strings behind the great Disney takedown of 2025, but let's just say if this footage ever accidentally saw the light of day, well, let's just hope Mickey Mouse has a good crisis management team on speed dial. And let's talk about how Rachel and Sabrina's friendship might just be the most iconic duo since peanut butter and jelly, except instead of sandwiches, they're serving up viral content and industry-shaking revelations. These two went from hyping each other up online to teaming up in the real world, proving once again that sometimes internet friendships aren't just real, they're revolutionary. Who knew a simple "girl you serve" tweet could lead to potential Disney chaos? The internet is wild, my friends. Oh, and quick reminder, If you're loving this, why not smash that like button harder than Disney smashed Rachel's dreams of being the undisputed star of her own movie? Just saying. Now, before we wrap this up, let's play a fun game called What Happens Next? Does Sabrina finally drop that behind-the-scenes footage? Does Rachel speak out and confirm everything we're all thinking? Does Disney do some last-minute damage control and try to make this all disappear faster than a Cinderella carriage at midnight? The suspense is killing me, and honestly, I live for it. And if you do too, well, you know what to do. Subscribe, stick around, and get ready, because if you think this is the last time Hollywood is going to serve up some piping hot drama, oh, you must be new here. We'll see you in the next one.